Hey everyone, this is Ian Miller,
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew.
and welcome to another exciting episode of Be It Talk with Nolan Smith. I admit that was a bad start. I apologize, folks.
You were kind of rushing it a little bit there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And welcome to another episode of Media Talk with Nolan Smith.
There you go.
Tonight we're actually gonna do something that we actually promised you, but we haven't been able to do that because of several problems. Gonna give you our review of Warner Brothers' The Flash. Now, I know we promised an after theater reaction, but like I said, things got complicated. We couldn't record at that time. So now that the film's been out for a couple weeks now, many of you probably saw it. So this is probably going to have some spoilers. So if for some odd reason you have been living under a rock and haven't seen the film yet and do want to see it, please stop this video now. Let's give it a few seconds. Okay, here we go. As we figured out, the Flash pretty much starts out as a typical day for him. You know, typical day for Barry Allen and in Central City. What what do you do? The first start of the day, get breakfast. That's what you do. He doesn't get breakfast, however, because he now has to answer a Justice League call, and who's calling him? Alfred Pennyworth, played by Jeremy Irons. Something has happened in Gotham City, we and Batman needs the Flash because everyone else is busy. Superman is off dealing with a volcano. I don't know where Cyborg is. Aquaman's dealing with his own thing. So who is Batman called? The Flash.
And just a reminder, this Batman is still Ben Affleck. I'll just throw that in there as of right now. They did not recast Batman, so we'll just throw that out there.
Yes. So the Justice League, mostly Flash, saves the day. Even though Ben's Batman does some pretty cool things in his scene, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So after that, Barry's trying to deal with his father's appeal because he's been even though Henry Allen is in prison for the murder of Barry's mother, Nora Allen, and he asks Bruce Wayne for help using some new tech to uncover some security footage. Unfortunately, the footage doesn't show his father actually looking up at the camera. So they can't place him at the supermarket where he said he was while his wife was being murdered. So pretty much resigned into what the you know this detail of events has on Barry, he decides to run, like many of us, away from the problems. But what does he do? He runs so fast, accidentally taps into the Speed Force, and goes back in time. So now he gets the idea of maybe I could go back in time and just fix this one thing. It's not going to have a big effect on the universe, right? So Barry does go back and does this one thing, but it doesn't take him back to the present. No, it takes him back to an alternative 2013. Now, why is that date significant? For two reasons. One, that's where Barry actually gets his powers. And two, this is when General Zod actually comes to Earth. So, as our Barry enters the alternate 2013, he encounters another Barry Allen, also played by Ezra.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's slowly discovering things are not quite what they seem. And who does he have to go to help? Bruce Wayne. Because he's the only one that can actually help him because no other superheroes are on this Earth in this timeline. Not Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, it's Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne.
And this Michael Keaton is actually very much retired, I guess, because in that timeline, believe it or not, Gotham City is actually safe of crime.
And do you know why that is? That is because Michael Keaton in that universe is the best Batman. He what all the Batman did in any of the other universes. He stopped crime.
Yes, he did. And when you first see Michael Keaton as or Bruce, you see him as gray long hair and a really big gray beard. And he's been not Batman for, did they say how many? I forgot. Did they say how many years?
Quite, they didn't say 30 years because that's not quite right. I don't think they specified how many years it's been.
But it's been, yeah, so it's been a long time since he's been Batman. So Gotham has been safe of crime and he's just living his life as Bruce, I guess, but
Yes.
not really.
So both Barrys actually go to Bruce to try to find Superman. Bruce is a little reluctant, but he understands this Barry, our Barry, a little bit through their conversation, especially
Hmm.
how Barry was able to go back in time. And Barry explained that there's some events that are destiny. Bruce was always meant to lose his parents. He was always meant to be Batman. He had an Alfred, stuff like that. So hearing this, Bruce dons the cape and cowl once again. I had to tell you, the reveal got a big applause with him in the costume, him saying the iconic line.
Hmm.
Through Bruce's network, he was actually able to find that Superman was actually locked up in what was it? It was a place in Russia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was I don't, was it Moscow? Was it Moscow?
Not
No, it
Moscow.
wasn't Moscow. It was some, it was, yeah, it was someplace in,
It was some prison
yeah.
where they've been experimenting on Kryptonian for years.
Yeah, let me see if I can just pull up. Yeah, you can keep going. I'm just, let me see if I can just fill in that gap. Go ahead.
But when our Barrys and Batman, enter this facility, they discover it's not Superman. It's another Kryptonian, but it's a young girl.
Hmm.
His name is Kara El, also known as Supergirl.
Okay, so it was Soviet Siberia.
Siberia, that's it. That was it.
Yep, Siberia.
Oh, but did I get to mention that our Barry had lost his powers? His powers was actually transferred into the other Barry.
Yeah,
Confused.
yeah, because he was trying to fix that timeline by, you know, showing to the other Barry how he got his powers, and then when the lightning struck the other Barry, it kind of
They
took away his power. Yeah,
transferred his powers to the other Barry.
yeah.
In return to Gotham, returning to the Batcave, our Barry is determined to get his super speeds back. And how do you do that? He has to recreate the accident that gave him his speed in the first place. Not an easy thing. As many of you know from the Flashpoint book, it pretty much has Barry tied to a chair with a lot of chemicals around him and waiting for a lightning bolt to actually hit him. The experiment doesn't quite go well the first time. So, with the help of Supergirl, she was able to lift up Barry towards the clouds so lightning could hit him, and he gains his speed. So now they had to face General Zod with only Supergirl, the two Flashes, and Batman. They just don't quite work out as they hoped they would. Because somewhere along the line, Zod kills Supergirl. I know, that's a bummer, right? And unfortunately, Batman does get killed in the battle.
Yeah, he does.
The alternate Flash decides this is not good, so he decides to convince our Barry to go back in time to save them. Unfortunately, they get killed in alternate ways.
Yeah, so every version that they went to go back, she gets killed in every one of them.
And doing so, the alternate Flash starts creating a rift in reality. We were seeing literally worlds colliding. And this had the most impressive cameos that you could ever see. You had the Christopher Reeve Superman along with the Helen Slater Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people complain about that, but I actually liked it because you got to see, that they still exist in another universe. Then you got the Nicholas Cage Superman, which was very weird to see. I'll admit that it was very weird, but it was kind of cool because it kind of just said, you know what, this is what we could have had many years ago. Because not many people know this, but Nicolas Cage is a huge Superman fan, and he was cast in a movie called Superman Lives in 1998, and Tim Burton was actually set to direct that movie.
Can you actually imagine if that movie actually came to life?
Just looking at the concept art, especially what Tim had done for the movie, it looked kind of cool. It was like, you know, I kind of wish we had seen that.
But doing, yeah, I mean, but now, like what Nicolas Cage has been doing, I don't know. I can't really see him as Superman now, even though like with the long hair and everything.
Well, that was just for, I think, just towards the end of the movie because Superman is, resurrected after a long while and his hair does go long. So
Yeah,
that was being true to the comics. So
yeah.
what can you do? Anyway, we also got to see George Reese's Superman, Adam West's Batman.
Hmm.
Great hearing his voice again.
Mm-hmm.
But our Barry sees that the other worlds are literally colliding and just almost erasing the multiverse. He tries to reason with the alternate Barry, but he's not listening to her. He said, "We can do this. We can fix this." All of a sudden, they're encountered by another speedster, Dark Flash. And many of you know this because somebody had leaked it out. Thanks a lot, people, that you leaked the details. Thanks a lot. Dark Flash is revealed to be the alternate Barry, but much older. Because apparently he had been traveling in time for many years trying to fix the outcome. But unfortunately, you can't fix this because this timeline was always meant to die. Some things are meant to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, to try to get rid of the paradox situation, because I know you time traveler fanatics saying, "Oh wait, he's a paradox. Don't worry, he gets killed." The alternate Barry actually sacrifices himself to save our Barry, and they're both erased from the timeline. So our Barry has to go back and undo what he did, which was to save his mom. Not an easy thing to do. I have to say, in that scene, Ezra Miller did a very good performance in that scene.
Yeah, I agree.
Emotions were there, and yeah, sold it, just sold it. So he undoes it, but he does change one thing. He changes one thing in the security footage. I'll explain that in a second. So our Barry goes back to the present, to his timeline, and he's incredibly late for the court date. So when we get to the court, we see the new footage of Henry Allen actually looking out at the camera lens to show that he was actually in the supermarket at the time of the murder. So Henry Allen is proven innocent and released. Barry is overwhelmed and contacts Bruce just to tell him the good news.
Oh, here we go.
Bruce is actually on his way to the courthouse, pulls up, gets out of the car, and it's George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. Clooney's Bruce Wayne. And he's like, "You're not Batman." And Clooney's Bruce is like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And then everyone knew right away that Barry had effed up big time.
Once George Clooney stepped out of that car, there was a whole big reaction.
A lot of people screaming no at the theater. I was screaming Clooney, not at the top of my lungs, but I was screaming it.
Well, apparently before they got Clooney, there was actually um, talks of bringing Christian Bale back to be in that role. At the end, they tried to.
Yeah, that was actually debunked. That theory, that rumor was actually debunked by a couple of guys I know.
Oh, well, I saw something like they tried begging him to come back, and he said no.
Didn't happen. So yeah, as well as the other rumor that Michael Keaton would get a Batman Beyond movie, that was debunked as well. So I'm sorry, folks. Sorry for that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah.
So then I guess James Gunn really wanted George Clooney then.
Yeah, what was interesting was they actually shot a different scene because they had Michael Keaton come back
Hmm.
and Supergirl actually interacting with Michael's Bruce, Barry, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they chose to cut that one and use George Clooney instead.
Now, I have to tell you, a lot of fans were mad about this. I was mad. There was a couple of people that weren't mad about this choice. Look, I have nothing against George Clooney. I have nothing against him. All right. Yeah, I have badmouthed his Batman from here to Timbuktu. I still do, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He did a good job as Bruce Wayne. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But he was not Batman. No. But it killed me because I heard that James Gunn actually made this choice. And you have to remember, this film went through a lot of, executive producers, a lot of creative people. Some of them had left the company, during this production. You have to remember, this production was in production for a very long time, in pre production, going through many writers, many directors.
Yeah, and then COVID, and then that happened, and then after that, it just
Yeah,
it couldn't get released.
yeah, it was a train wreck. So James Gunn had made this decision to add George Clooney in that last scene. So if any of you got a problem with that last scene, take it up with James Gunn. Take it up with him. Anyway, the movie ends with a end credit scene with Aquaman. I won't get into it because it's kind of a throwaway end credit scene if you think about it. It doesn't really lead anywhere. But I will say this. Here are my thoughts on the movie. I actually liked it. You have to put your thoughts about Ezra Miller, keep him at the door. You know, despite his controversy, and he's very controversial, being arrested so many times, and having these many charges. But you had to, you had to separate the actor from the character. At least that's what I went to when I went and saw this movie. But I like the Flash, and one of the reasons I went to see the movie specifically was Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I liked it too. Um. I mean, you know us. I mean, we don't listen to the reviews or anything. Um. So it was actually pretty good. I just feel like because these, I feel like it was kind of the ending that's not really making the Flash so much money as it is now. I mean, again, you can't just put it all on Clooney that it's not making a lot of money.
Now,
Uh,
now it's really the controversy surrounding the lead actor, unfortunately, that's
yeah.
boiled down to.
Well, yeah, that goes back to what I just said. I mean, you can't pretty much just base it on what's going on in the actor's real life. I mean, if you're a comic book fan like you and me, you like DC. I mean, you love the Flash. I mean, that's pretty much all you have to worry about. I mean, don't worry about what's going on in the actor's main, personal life. He made this movie, a year and a half ago, or actually long time ago before that. But again, if you're just basing it on, you know, what's going on in the actor's life, I mean, for me, in my opinion, that's not really a good reason not to go see the movie. But but that's just me.
Yeah, I just went not just because of Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, and of course Supergirl. I also like the story of the Flash, love the character. I also wanted to support the cast and crew because they worked very hard, to make this movie. Now, what happened behind the scenes, whatever choices that the studio made,
Hmm.
some of that I don't support, you know, but a lot of it I do support. I just hope that, this trend does not continue and whatever they have planned for DC actually grows, actually thrives. Because this is the problem with studios. They do interfere too much with a movie, and they shouldn't. They should
Right.
respect the director's vision, and just support them along with the writers, you know. And this goes back to the writer strike. These companies need to support their writers and pay them their fair share. They really do. Anyway, enough about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you on that part. But yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, the movie's not doing too well. It's on track of losing $200 million. Now, I don't know how much they spent on marketing, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna get the money back. So this is gonna be a bomb, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, the director was saying, and this was a reach on their part, um, that in order for them to make a sequel, it most likely would have to make as much money as the Batman did, which was like $750 million or something like that.
At this point, it's a damn near impossibility. It's probably gonna lose, uh, make a little less than Black Adam did. But unfortunately, that's the harsh reality of this business. You gamble on something, on a potential movie franchise that doesn't pan out.
Yeah, I mean, look at Black, like you said. I mean, look at Black Adam. I mean, we thought that was going to be a big movie, and it was just a flop. Wasn't really making that much money. Um, I mean, we won't go into the whole Justice League thing. Look how that turned out.
Yeah,
Um,
thank God we got the Snyder cut, though. Thank God for that.
yes, totally made up for that. But yeah, I mean, you have all these, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You have all these expectations for these big movies, these big comic book movies, and yeah, I mean, they can get good reviews and just flop, and they can get bad reviews and do really good. I mean, you never know what the outcome's going to be until you actually go see the movie.
Yeah. So if you're interested about the movie, if you're interested about the Flash, or just want to see the Michael Keaton's Batman or Ben Affleck's Batman or Supergirl, go and see the Flash. Make your
Yeah,
own decision about how you feel about the film.
yeah. I mean, it's a fun movie. I We both enjoyed it pretty well. But yeah, just go see it. It's fun, entertaining, um, laughable at points. But overall, I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. Um, and in other news, with uh the Flash director, it has now been tapped to actually direct the Batman Brave and Bold.
Yeah.
So I think that was a pretty good move. I think on their part, but
Otherwise,
you
the,
know,
the way he handled Michael Keaton's Batman, it was like he totally gets it. He gets it.
yeah. And unfortunately, we're not going to know who's going to be playing Batman in that movie for a little while. So James Gunn came out and said that yesterday, or the day before that we're not going to get casting for that Batman in quite a while. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit on that.
Yeah, we did get casting for Superman Legacy though, which was written by
Mhm.
Gunn. It's going to be directed by Gunn. Possibly, hopefully, after this strike ends.
Yeah,
Good casting, and it's interesting choices. I don't have the list in front of me right now. I'm looking it up right now.
yeah, I'm trying to get it, but um, I saw the guy who's playing Superman. I've never heard of him before until it was released. Um, I don't know. I've never seen him before.
I have them like his name, David. I can't even pronounce his last name.
I think it's like David Corn Sweat, something like that.
What? Yeah,
Something like that. So yeah, he's yeah, I have it up here. Um yeah, I mean they're actually going pretty young. He's 29 years old. So he'll be playing a younger Superman. Um and a well-known actress will be playing Lois Lane in Rachel Brosnahan. So we'll see how that turns out as well for that movie and the cast.
and of course, many of you know Rachel from her work as the marvelous Miss Maisel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that they're actually good choices. He looks pretty Superman-esque if you think about it in the face. I think she would make a great Lois Lane.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, I'm done trying to like judge all these actors without seeing them first. So I did that with Ben Affleck, and look how that turned out. So
And
I liked him. I liked him as Batman. So
I don't want him to leave. We don't want him to leave.
yeah. So we'll hopefully he becomes a good Superman.
Come back, Ben.
Yeah, but hopefully they're both gonna be great as Superman and Lois. So hopefully we get to see it in 2025. Hopefully this writer strike ends soon. So hopefully we'll get to base our own judgment on it when we see it.
Yeah, but of course, anything that's DC news, obviously we'll cover it. But
Yeah.
I'm concerned about what's going to happen with the future of DC and the future of Warner Brothers, but DC in particular because we love these characters. We're big fans of them, but we don't like what's been happening in the last couple of movies, though. Not just the reactions, but also the storylines, the characterization of the characters. We don't like it. We kind
No.
of return to these more serious versions of DC instead of the silliness because you can't force comedy into these things. Yet it has to become genuine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot going on right now with Warner Brothers. We're not gonna really cover all of it. But I I don't know. I think it's just a mess over there right now.
Yeah, we'll cover that in a future episode, which we will have a very good friend of ours as a special guest discuss the future of Warner Brothers.
Yeah. We've had him on the past while ago. Um, Zach is great person. He has his own podcast. You should check that out as well. I think I should take a.
Yeah,
I think remember what the name. I forgot what the name was again. So I'm sorry, Zach, if you're watching this.
hold on, Zach.
Sorry, Zach. Give me 1 second while I just give it here. But yeah, he was on. We collaborated with him on an earlier episode. Okay, Forgotten Heroes. So
It
that's his podcast. You can take a look at that. I believe it's on Apple. I think.
is on Apple. I'm not sure if it's on Spotify,
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's on Spotify.
but here's the thing: we're actually gonna make some of our episodes on Apple and Spotify very soon.
Yes. So we'll be transferring over to that soon.
We're
We'll
still doing YouTube, obviously, but
Yeah, we'll still be on YouTube, but it'll be transferred over there when we can. But yeah, so Zach will be on our episode. Hopefully we can get him on soon. We were hoping to get him on this episode, but unfortunately the timing didn't really work out for him.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have him on. If not the next episode, we'll have him on hopefully in the one after that. So hopefully we'll get him on soon. His podcast, Forgotten Heroes, check that out. It's actually pretty good. And it's on Apple, so take a look at that. So Zach, so you have us to thank for getting some more viewers on your podcast. So hopefully you guys check it out. Yeah. And if you please leave us in the comments what you thought about in us going over the Flash, reviewing it. Whether you like the ending with Clooney in there, would you have rather seen Christian Bale's Batman in there in the last one, or just your overall reaction, really, what you thought of it?
yeah. Also, talk about your favorite moment from the movie.
Yes. Yeah, so please just leave it in the comments. I know, not a lot of you have been leaving the comments. You just watch it, which is totally cool. That's fine. But we just want to hear from you. That's all. We just want to hear your opinions and everything.
One last note before we end. This weekend, we're actually going to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So you will get an after theater reaction to that. We're pretty damn excited about the movie, because
Yeah.
we grew up with this guy, we watched all the films. The last film was 15 years ago. Can you believe that? 15 years ago. We were in high school at that time.
that was
Yeah.
That was what, 08?
Yeah, it was all right.
Wow.
We never thought we were going to see another Indiana Jones movie at that time. We didn't think we were going to see this one in our time. And I'm pretty damn excited, I'm very excited. And John Williams' score to the movie was actually released today, so I had to go buy it.
Yes. We all know that you buy this. You buy the scores on everything. So that's cool.
I love movie scores. I love movie scores.
No, absolutely. No, that's awesome.
Anyway.
So we'll stay tuned for our after reaction on that. We may get a little surprise after the movie. Who knows? We may pull fans aside to see their reaction. We don't know yet. But we'll do the reaction when we can, and we'll see where we go from there. And hopefully it'll be a great movie.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been a very good episode. I'm having fun talking with you about it.
Yes, it's been very, yeah, yeah, it's been very. This was a very fun episode. I enjoyed it. What? What are you laughing?
No, because we don't normally do this. No, but I like it.
Do what?
I don't know. I'm having too much fun this episode, folks. I'm having too much fun.
No, this guy. This is fun. This is fun. I enjoyed this one.
All right. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. I'm Ian Miller.
I'm Andrew Smith.
And this has been Be Talk with Nolan Smith. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, guys.
If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.